Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. My name is Jeremy Agema, and today we're going to do a major operation on the boxer and heavy bag on the Champion Pub. What kind of problem? Why would we need to do this? Well, of course, this is the main toy in the game. It does get a lot of use. Here's an issue. We're having a couple issues, but here's the main one. This arm works okay. This arm, sticking a little bit. So that's something we need to work on. Second thing is the heavy bag. The switch is a little too sensitive. When I was giving it a nudge earlier on the stream, I noticed it was getting hits on it. So that's something we just need to adjust the switch gap. But to do this operation, I'm actually going to pull the boxer completely out so we can work on the arms properly. It is possible to remove his head and the front chest here with it in the game, but it actually isn't that hard to pull out and just work on it on the bench. After removing the balls from the game, you can lift the playfield up and put it into the service position. And this is the bottom of the boxer mechanism right here. And we're going to pull out this screw, and there's another screw over there that we need to get to. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus. There we go. We're going to pull out this screw, and there's another screw on the side here. The main thing is you need to observe the way the wires are going. I've remade this harness. This harness is slightly longer, and I've got protection on both wires, and I've looped it around the back side of the motor here, and I've got a little hanger that I made out of a zip tie that works really well. And this way the wires are the tightest when the heavy bag is to the front, and then in this channel here, as the boxer swings around, you get the most slack here. So this has worked really well. It's never bound up or anything, but it's important to pay attention to how it is. It's only got 3 connectors here, so all we're going to do is remove those 3 connectors, take these off, and we'll show you the boxer coming out. Here we are, ready to pull it out. There we go. It's just rides on this 1/4 inch diameter shaft here, and pretty straightforward. Let's get it over to the bench, and we'll show you how to take it apart. Alright, here we've got the boxer. As you can see, he's pretty easy to take apart. To get the head off of him, you have to take this bracket off for the heavy bag, and that gives you access to the pivot that the head is on. So we're going to really want to take this guy all apart. Okay, as soon as that's off, this bracket comes off here. We've got the pivot for the heavy bag, and down, this is a switch for his head, for headshot. And this here is the pivot that this head assembly is on. And this is the pipe that the wires run through. And when the wires get tight, they'll rub on this pipe here, and that's where you'll get some breakage. So we want to, when you're redoing one of these harnesses, you want to make sure there's enough slack in here. But I'm going to grab a little pliers, and this is a plastic pivot that's in here, just a little shaft. It can come out either side. Here's the other half of it right in there. Well, I don't think we're going to have to pull off his arms, but we definitely need to get his head off, and after we get that off, then we can get the chest off. And we'll also take a look at the heavy bag, because the switches need a little regapping on there too. So this is just a E-clip that's in here, or Jesus clip, or whatever you want to call it. Let's move my light down. See if we can get something a little more direct here. That should be a little better. So the tricky part is getting this off without it going flying. Sometimes you need a flat blade screwdriver to get in there. It can be a little tricky for sure. Carefully pry it up, and I don't want it to go flying, although it is a standard clip. Here's your clip. And we've got a washer on there. Careful not to damage these wires. There's the washer. And it's got a Darlin bushing in there, but all we do is push this pin out the other side. And you can do this part in the game. It's certainly easy enough to do in the game. There is our small shaft with the washer on the other side. And this head assembly just lifts right up there. Blow molded. Alright, and there's the little bushings. So, as you can tell now, the rest of it's pretty easy. Here's our head switch again. But we've got a shaft, actually the same kind of shaft, so this one has washers on it as well. Want to make sure whatever washers are in there, they're not too tight. Got to have enough play in there. Here's a clip off. Got a washer. And this shaft will go here. We've also got a metal retainer clip here. Or strengthening clip, I imagine. Might limit the movement of everything. Okay. There we go. This piece comes off, and the boxer's body comes off as well. And there are our two main hit switches. So, like I said, we've still got the issue with one of the arms here. Of course, now that it's out, it seems to be working good. Maybe it was rubbing on part of the body, but we'll take a look at it. Okay, this is loosened up again. I tightened this before. I thought I felt it was a little loose here. There. Okay, yep. This guy is loosened up on the shaft. See, I'm moving this up and down, but the arm shaft isn't moving. Yep, we're going to have to tighten that up again. And see what we can do to fix that. Alright, but we also need to look at our gaps here. This gap's a little tight. I'm not sure if I can get it close enough camera there. We'll adjust those gaps a little more. This one seems pretty good. Alright, we'll get in there with the pliers and we'll adjust it at the base. I'll move the bottom point down a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. So, looks like we found one problem with that. Alright. The heavy bag can be a little more difficult because that shaft just barely clears here. So, looks like I got a little more room on this side, so I'm going to pull off. It's the same exact style of fastener. It's got a E-clip on top and a washer. A little trickier because I got to get that washer off here. And so this just barely will pass. I'll have to take it off on this side as well, and we'll just pull the whole shaft out. These are all interchangeable parts with all the rest of the shafts and all that stuff. Alright, so I'm having a little trouble here. It's a really tight fit. And it just fell in. That's okay. Alright, so let's push this shaft out. Try to get enough room here. This is kind of a softer plastic, so just fitting out. Okay, and then we've got one switch here. Alright, we emptied that out. Just a hollow piece here. And then we've got the same kind of switch here. We'll give it a little more room here. Okay, we've got a little bit more of a gap here now, so that should work better. Alright, let's see here. I think it'll work better if we leave that heavy bag off for now. Gotta kind of be careful because we got a lot of wires that get folded back in here. We don't want to break any of them off. But I'm going to say that was the problem. Yeah. Alright, let's get our screw in there and see what we can do. Looks like this is a 3/32" screw that's in here. I did put Loctite on it, but apparently I need to clean up the threads or something. There's probably some lubricant or something in here that's causing an issue. Where the Loctite just isn't holding in properly. Alright. Now we've also got a the same kind of retaining clip on here. They like to use those E-clips. Pull this guy off and we'll just pull the shaft out. There we go. Same size as all the other ones, so that's really nice. Washer on here as well. I think there's just the one screw on here. Whoop! Alright, there we go. And here. Okay, there is a spot for a screw on the bottom, but I don't think you could actually use it. Interesting. There's no evidence of there ever being a screw on the bottom of this. So we've also got a washer here as well. I will see here. I think the best thing to do is to take some isopropyl alcohol or something, clean out those threads, and try to get all of that, any kind of lubricant or anything that might be in there that's stopping the Loctite to work properly, and we'll clean off this as well. There should be no lubricant on these, because this is not metal on metal. We've got plastic bushings in there, Darylin bushings. Okay, I went and cleaned out that screw and put some more Loctite on it, and it's working good now. Now we're just going to put it back together, and pretty much it's just going to go back the way it came apart. The body, then the head, and then we'll put the heavy bag on and toss her back in the game. So it's important to count your parts, because I forgot that washer and clip right in that position. Excellent. Make sure it pivots easily here. That works good. Slide this piece back on here. Make sure there's no wires getting pinched over here. And then we got our two screws. We'll pop a little Loctite on those as well. Those can loosen up over time. I'm just using a Loctite like a gel stick kind of deal, but you can, as long as it's low strength Loctite, the blue stuff. That's what we want. I'll install both screws loosely. or the first screw loosely and then the other one can fit in. And then we'll just tighten them down. And voila! He is ready to go back into the game. Just to put him in the game, here's the thing we're going to pay attention to. There is a flat spot on this shaft in the back of it here. That is a screw we're going to index off of. So I'll set it in there, I'll tighten it up off of that one, and then I can tighten the other side one here. Very important to do this one first, because that one sets everything in the correct alignment. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's power it on, and we'll do a switch test. Alright. Not sure if we want switch edges or switch... I think we want switch edges. Now we'll press on this guy. Heavy bag. Okay. Now we can... Let's rotate the boxer around. Okay, so this boxer mode is a little quirky. We don't want it to lock up too much here, but we can press the combinations of buttons here and it will cause the boxer to rotate. Okay, that's what we wanted. Alright, so we'll back up. We'll go into switch levels again. And then we'll check the head. Oh, actually I want switch edges. It's going to go through each one that's currently... There we go. Alright. Boxer head. So there's two in the gut as it is. They both... We saw there was two switches. The game treats it as two switches. That's working. This is still a little bit... It might be hitting on here, I'm not sure. That's still a little bit off. This one's good. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but the main thing is, seems to be working. Let's do a little quick test. Load it up with balls. Start a game.
Welcome to Champion Pub, kid.
Okay, we'll get our health up here. Okay, now we've got the white flashing lights here. We'll be back a little bit. Now we'll start a fight here.
Coach, kid, so pay attention. Ladies and gents, Pierre LaPunch voices the kid. I am a lover, not a fighter, but for you I make an exception. I slap your face. Oh! Ow! He's running again! Low! Knock his fuck off, kid! Low! Ow! You won, kid!
Alright.
You have beaten me, you horrible person!
Alrighty, I'm gonna say that's working. So thanks again for watching, and hope you learned something. If you got any questions, let me know, but be sure to check out my live streams, and hopefully you subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. We got a lot of cool playlists. So, alright, thank you very much. Okay, slight update. This arm in this case, now granted we did find something bad with the loose other arm, but on this one, it was hanging up. It was hanging up like this. If I would would let it go, it would stay there. So on the side, this thing is kind of like a U-shaped. So what I did is I took my pliers here, put it in the middle, and I spread the whole thing apart. And now it works much better. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It was kind of binding in there, just with the way the platform is and the coil stop and all that stuff. So little tip there. This part and the back part here were kind of too close together and causing interference. Interesting. So yeah, that's a lot better. All right, slap it back together, and again, thanks for watching.